Neck, sure. Anything else? No? Okay. We're going to start off on our backs today. So if that's comfortable for you, come on back to your back. I'm just going to turn this backlight off. And just take a moment here. Maybe stretch the arms up overhead, stretch the toes. And then when you're ready, you can bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a gentle rock from side to side. And then we'll lower the soles of the feet down to our mats and open our knees to either side, coming into our reclining cobbler's pose. So reclining butterfly, soles of the feet touch together. You can walk the heels closer towards your tailbone if that feels comfortable. Let's bring one hand to our heart and one hand to our belly. And just start to visualize that air moving through you. You can close your eyes or take a nice soft gaze, but just take a moment to adjust to resting here. Even in stillness, notice that there is movement. Your heart beating, your breath moving, whirlpools of thought. In yoga, these ripples of consciousness are called vritti. See if you can make peace with them today. Allow yourself to take a few more rounds of the breath. While you're visualizing that air moving through you, maybe you're drawing the air up from your bottom hand to your top hand, and then from your top hand back down to the bottom. Good. When you are ready, you can keep your hands right where they are. We're just going to bring our knees together with the soles of the feet on our mats and just windshield wipe the knees from side to side, just gently rocking them back and forth. Loosening up each side of the body. When you're ready, bring yourself back to stillness. Release your hands down by your sides, and then we're going to take our block and lift our hips and slide the block underneath our low back. This is typically what we do at the end of our practice, but we're going to start off with it today. So the block goes underneath the back of the sacrum. You can draw your knees in towards your chest, stretch the legs up towards the sky. If this feels more comfortable without the block underneath you, if you just want to use your hands on your low back, you can do that too. And just take a moment here, maybe start off with a little movement, circle around the ankles, point and flex those toes. This is our legs up the wall position. Vapariti Karani. This translates to against the flow, or to reverse our actions. Instead of swimming against the current, we let the current swim through us. Water naturally flows downward without fighting, back to its source, back to the sea. It takes a lot more energy to fight something than it does to go with it. So as you lie here, let everything that you've been struggling with just seep out of you and flow back to the sea. Let's hold on to this intention as we move through our physical practice together today. Whenever something feels off in our bodies, Let's explore how it feels to soften rather than resist. Let's start to invite just a little bit more movement in here. So hug your right knee in towards your chest. Give the right knee a nice good squeeze. And then when you're ready, you can slowly lower your left heel out long in front of you. So the left heel is going to hover above the ground. We'll find that stretch along the front of that left thigh. And then maybe point and flex those left toes. That's just going to move things around in that left leg. When you're ready, let's bring the left foot back up towards the sky, straighten out the right leg to meet it, take a pause here, maybe move around the legs simultaneously, moving around the ankles or even pedaling out the knees. And then when you're ready, we'll switch this to the other side. So wrap the hands around the front of the left shin, stretch that right leg out long. The right leg hovers above the floor. Maybe move around that right ankle. Pull that right foot back up towards the sky, send the left leg up to meet it. Both legs are reaching towards the sky. And then if it's comfortable for you, reach your arms up and overhead, reaching towards the back of the room. Maybe even spreading the fingers out. Just making like an L shape with the body. And then when you're ready, sweep the hands up towards the sky, lower both palms on either side of the hips, bend into the knees, and lower the soles of the feet down to your mat. Take a pause here. We'll keep that block underneath our low back, just coming into a supported bridge pose. You can walk your heels closer towards the tailbone. If the block feels comfortable here, feel free to keep it here. If you would like to raise the hips just a little bit higher, you feel like you have some more space here, you can press into the soles of the feet to lift the hips and then rotate that block up just one little bit here so that you're on the medium setting of your block. And then once you get into your comfortable supported bridge, just readjusting, maybe coming back to the breath. As always, you're welcome to participate as much or as little as you'd like in this class today, but I'm going to give you options where you can either rest where you are, or if you'd like to add a little movement in, you can. So either stay here, find your pause, or sweep the arms up overhead. We're reaching them to the back of the room. Back of the hands come to the floor, and then exhale, lower the arms up overhead and down by your sides. You could either do this up and overhead, or you could make like snow angel arms. Finding your inhale and finding your exhale. If you are reaching the arms up and back, just take a pause next time the arms reach towards the back of the room, just giving yourself that stretch, really gluing the shoulder blades to the floor. And when you're ready, hands come up overhead, down by our sides. We're all going to press into the four corners of both of our feet to lift our hips up high. Slide your block out from underneath you. Press the back of the tailbone into the floor. And let's just hug the knees in towards the chest and give ourselves a little rock from side to side. So really allowing yourself to add a little pressure to that low back. Any areas that are sensitive or need a little extra work today, just rolling into them. When you're ready, we'll find a gentle twist. So you can open up your arms out to either side, making like a T shape, or bend the elbows to make your cactus arms. We'll drop both knees over to the right side. We'll keep our left shoulder glued to the floor. You can keep the back of the head where it is, or you can rotate to look over your left shoulder. While you're in this pose, where can we let go of? What can we sink in a little deeper into? Can we melt into our mats? Can we allow ourselves to become a little heavier? Explore how it feels to soften rather than to resist. When you're ready, bring those knees in towards the chest. We're just going to gently sweep them across the body all the way over to the left side, just switching to the other side, finding your spinal twist. Keeping our right shoulder glued to the floor. Either keeping the back of the head right where it is or rotating. Sometimes the things that we need to soften rather than resist are not physical things. Sometimes they're mental things, some boundaries that we're holding on to that we can let go of. So just taking a moment, allowing ourselves to be present in our practice today. When you're ready, hug those knees back and towards the chest. If you'd like to rock yourself a little bit from side to side, once again, you can. And then choose either side to roll to. And we'll gently press ourselves up to seated from there. All right. From our comfortable seated position, lift up nice and tall. Good. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. We'll start with the top of our body, kind of work our way through. So we'll drop our chin in towards the chest, hanging the forehead forward, and just take a pause once you get there so you can feel the muscles at the back of the neck start to stretch as you draw the chin in towards the chest. Feel how heavy that head can be. We'll roll the right ear all the way over towards the right shoulder. Reach the left fingertips down towards the earth, maybe walk them away from the body so you create a little space. And then when you're ready, drop the chin in towards the chest. We'll switch sides, roll the left ear over towards the left shoulder, reach the right fingertips down towards the earth, maybe walking them away from the body. Bring the right hand back in towards your knees and just roll the head from side to side. Rolling the chin across the collarbones, one ear to one shoulder, and then back to the other side. Good, taking this at your own pace. Drop the chin in towards the chest. Slowly lift the head back to center. The chin will be parallel to the floor and then rotate to look to either side. So we'll rotate to look towards our right side. Come back around to center. Chin is still parallel to the floor. Spine is nice and long as we look over the shoulder to the left side. And just rotate from side to side. Our universal symbol for saying no. moving the head back and forth through whatever doesn't serve us, letting it go. When you're ready, come back to center. Chin is parallel to the floor. We're going to inhale the arms down, around, up overhead, reach up towards the sky. We'll take the right hand to the left knee. The left arm will come behind us. Find your way into your spinal twist. Good, facing towards that flower ball, keeping the spine nice and tall. Using that back arm like a kickstand to keep your spine as long as you can keep it. When you're ready, we're going to raise our left hand up towards the sky like you're asking a question. Take the left hand up and over towards that right knee. So take like a side stretch. And then take the left hand down in front of the heart, open out to the side of the shoulder and push back. All right, if you didn't get the choreography on one, we'll do it again. Up and overhead, down in front of the heart, push out in line with the shoulder and just push towards the back of the room. So you're making like a big full rotation of that left shoulder. Try to keep those hands energetic, so spread all 5 of the fingers of the left hand. Next time the left arm reaches towards the sky, just take a pause, lower the left hand down behind your back so you're back in your spinal twist. All right, one fluid motion. Take your hand off your knee and untwist back to center. We'll sweep the arms up overhead, reaching them high to the sky. Flip the palms so that they're facing forward. Good, and then stretch long. Take a bow towards yourself. Drop your chin in towards your chest. Maybe those fingertips crawl a little further forward. Good, and maybe relax the jaw, the forehead, those areas that we tend to store our tension, stress, emotions. When you're ready, let's just take a little side stretch. So walk both hands over to the right side. Maybe that left hand comes on top of right. We'll walk our way through center all the way over to the left side. Maybe right hand comes on top of left. Stretching through the sides of the abdominal walls down to the hips. Walk your way all the way back around to center. Draw the fingertips in towards the body. Slowly roll your way up to a nice tall seat. Roll the shoulders down and back. Good. Bring the arms down, around, up overhead. Reach up towards the sky. This time the left hand will come to the right knee. The right arm will come behind us. We find our way back in our spinal twist. This time looking towards the windows. Lift up nice and tall. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. When you're ready, take that right hand up, reach it up towards the sky like you're going to ask a question. Take the right hand up and over towards the left knee. So you give yourself your side body stretch down in front of the heart and then push out in line with the right shoulder. Up, around, down in front of the heart, and then push out in line with the shoulder. Making that big sweeping motion, allowing yourself that full rotation of the shoulder, little side body stretch here, the ribs, the armpit. Everything's getting a nice stretch as we move along. Next time the right hand reaches to the sky, just take a pause and then lower the right hand behind the back, coming back into your spinal twist. One fluid motion, take your hand off your knee and untwist back around to center. Bring the arms all the way back up towards the sky. Flip the hands so that they're facing forward. Spread the fingers, reach the arms out long in front of you. Taking another bow. Dropping the chin in towards the chest. Allowing yourself a little softness. When you're ready, walk your hands in towards the body, lift up nice and tall. We're gonna swing the legs out from underneath us so we can come to our tabletop. So hands are coming underneath our shoulders, our knees will be coming underneath our hips. Square everything off here. Good, and then once you come into your tabletop, we'll spread all 10 of the fingers out. Perfect. All right, let's move through our cats and cows. So we'll drop our belly towards the floor, lift the chin, lift the gaze, still pressing into all four corners of the hands. And then on your exhale, drop the chin in towards the chest, press your mat away as you arch into the spine, creating that big scaredy cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, pulling the head up through the shoulders, dropping the belly. And then exhale, press back. And just move back and forth, just like you were visualizing the breath before. Maybe see if while you're moving back and forth in your cats and cows, you can visualize the breath moving forward and back with your movements. Perfect. Good. When you're ready, come back to stillness. We're just going to do a little warm up for our wrists. So the first thing that we're going to do is with our hands on the ground, just make some circles. So circle around the wrists. All 10 fingertips are facing forward, just moving around in a circle. And this is going to be totally up to you and your body, how big those circles are. Just kind of loosening things up in the hands. Good. Whenever it feels right for you, just pause and go the other way, circle around. Come back around to center. We're gonna flip the hands, so fan the hands out to either side, so all 10 fingers are pointed in either direction, or 5 fingers, I guess. Wrists are facing towards each other, and then just rock a little bit from side to side. A little stretch on the underside of those forearms. Again, everybody's body's a little different, so they don't have to be perfectly parallel. All right, come back to center. We're gonna rotate our hands so that all 10 fingers are facing towards the top of the mat. And then when you're ready, you're gonna come up onto fists. So make a fist with both of the hands and then come all the way back down. So you're coming up onto fists and then down onto flat palms. Yep. Perfect. All right, when you are ready, just come back to both hands on the ground. We're gonna flip the left hand over so the top of the left hand is on the mat. Fingertips are gonna face towards you, so top of the hand on the mat. Sorry, I'm trying to show you from over here. Good. And then you're gonna either pause where you are, or if it's comfortable, you can rock into this. So you could lean a little forward or a little back. For some people, that's gonna feel good. For some people, it's gonna be a little intense. So just listen to your body. We'll flip the left hand over, do the same thing on the right side. Top of the hand presses into our mats, fingertips facing towards us. Either pausing where we are or a little movement. All right, when you're ready, flip that hand back over. We're gonna tuck our toes under, lift our hips up towards up towards the sky, heels stretch towards the floor, coming into your downward facing dog. And don't worry about this being the perfect downward facing dog. We're just stretching our heels towards the floor, our hips towards the sky. Take a few moments, maybe circle around the ankles. Shake the hips from side to side. If that neck is bothering you, you can kind of sway from side to side with the head. Good. Take a moment to soften. What can we let go of here? Is there any part of the body physically that doesn't feel right that we could adjust? As always, we can come out of our poses at any time. Go ahead and find stillness. We're going to walk our hands to the back of the mat, coming into a forward fold. So you're walking your hands all the way back towards the toes. Arms are reaching down towards the floor. Head is tucked in. And then from here, we're going to find our ragdoll. So hands can come to the elbows or the shoulders or a block and just rock a little bit from side to side. Just a little sway back and forth. Good, and feet can be directly underneath the hips, or if you want them a little bit wider, they could be as wide as your mat. Just giving yourself some space today. All right, when you're ready, release your arms so they're reaching down towards the floor. Let the arms be super heavy. You have your heaviest winter coat on right now. The arms are dangling towards the ground. Press into all four corners of both of the feet as you rise up, activating the back of the thighs, activating those glutes, the core, all the way up, and then sweep the arms down, around, up overhead so that the fingertips can connect right up at the top. Good. All right, let's make Jupiter Mudra. So pointer finger and thumb stay together, interlace the back three fingers. We're gonna reach the arms up and over towards the right side, pushing the left hip out to the left. All right, and now we're gonna take our right foot and step it in front of the left. So like you're crossing your legs. Okay, now take your left foot, cross it in front of your right, and then switch the arms up and over towards the left side. So you're pushing your right hip out. Let's do that again. Right foot in front of the left, so you're crossing the legs. Switch the arms up and over to the right side. And then cross the left foot in front of the right and just switch the arms up and over to the opposite side. All right, good. One more time, make your way to the top of the mat. Once you're there, reaching both hands up towards the sky. Big breath in. Long breath out, release the hands and swan dive down towards the toes, forward fold. Good. Let's inhale ourselves up to a halfway lift, just drawing our shoulder blades back, finding that flat back, coming down a little lower here. And then exhale, forward fold, reaching towards the ground. Perfect. From here, you can bend those knees so the hands can plant down on the mat. We're gonna step our way back into our high plank or your table. And then you can lower down through your knees, chest, chin, dropping the knees, untucking the toes, dropping the chest, dropping the chin. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Elbows are glued nice and tight towards the ribs. Press into the palms as we scoop our neck, chest, and shoulders up, coming into that cobra pose. And then tuck the toes under, lift the hips up towards the sky, coming back into your downward facing dog. As always, feel free to add a little tabletop in between there if you want the knees to come to the floor. Once you come back to your down dog, feel free to pedal this back out. Bend into the knees, shake it all out. All right, walk the hands to the back of the mat once again. Find your forward fold at the back of your mat. Good, and then while you're here reaching towards the floor, blocks can be underneath the hands or you're just reaching towards the ground. If you want to rock a little bit from side to side, again, you can. When you're ready, release the arms so they're reaching towards the ground. Upper body's nice and heavy. You've got your heaviest winter coat on, so those arms are dangling by your sides. Press into the feet as you roll your way up. Hands are gonna land down by your sides, and then bring the arms down around up overhead so that the fingertips can connect at the top. Hands are gonna come down to our heart center. All right, we're gonna make it to the front of our mat here. So we're gonna raise our arms up towards the sky, palms face towards each other. We'll bend into our right knee, bringing the right knee in towards the chest. So you're just balancing on that left foot. If bringing the right foot all the way in doesn't work for you, a little kickstand is fine too. And then let's go ahead and send that right leg directly behind us. So reach the arms forward, right toes point towards the ground. Feel free to use the wall here for support as well, balancing on that left foot. And then when you're ready, bring the right knee in towards the chest and step it out in front of you. So then we're gonna switch this to the other side. It will probably take us maybe 2 of these to get to the top of our mat. So we'll bring our left knee in towards our chest again, balancing on that right foot, raising the arms up high to the sky, one-legged mountain pose. Reach the arms out long in front of you, send that left heel long behind you, balance on that right foot, feel the ebb and flow. I love doing balances when there's a lot of us in here because you guys are just ebbing and flowing. All right, perfect. When you're ready, bring that left knee in. Step the left foot out in front of you. We'll do the same thing on the other side again. Right knee comes in towards the chest. Send the right leg long behind you. Toes point down towards the ground. You're tilting forward as far as it feels comfortable for you. You don't have to go all the way down. Good. Not holding our breath. We're still breathing. Good. Bring that knee in, and then one last time. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Raise the arms high to the sky. Reach out long in front of you. Left leg goes long. Perfect. Finding that balance. And now we're all like mostly around the front of our mats. All right, bring that left leg back in. Both feet are down on the ground. Sweep the arms down, around, up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the toes. Perfect. Let's inhale ourselves up, halfway lift. And exhale back down, forward fold. All right, you'll bend into your knees a lot if you need to. Reach down to the ground, step the legs back, find your high plank. You're gonna find your knees, chest, chin, or you can come into your low plank. Your upward facing dog or cobra. Again, if you're coming into that cobra, your thighs are staying on the ground, pressing into the palms. And then when you're ready, you can either press back into table or you can tuck the toes under, roll over the feet as you lift the hips up back into that downward facing dog. Good, take a nice big breath. Long exhale out. When you're ready, walk your hands back towards your toes, find your forward fold at the back of your mat. If you want to ragdoll, rock a little bit from side to side here, you can. You can grab onto elbows or shoulders, or you can just hang where you are. When you are ready, arms are going to be super heavy, so release them down by your sides. Heaviest winter coat. Press into the four corners of your feet as you rise back up, activating the glutes. Hands come down by your sides, and then sweep the arms down, around, up overhead. Hands come down to heart center. All right, so now look around, figure out where your blocks are. We're going to bring them near us. So find those 2 blocks. Place them on either side. Did anybody not get 2 blocks today that needs them? No? Okay. All right, so once you have your 2 blocks, you're just gonna place them on either side of your mat. I suggest having them in the tallest setting, so the up and down way, because that's gonna bring the floor closest to you. You can always adjust if you need to. We need blocks? Oh. You didn't bring your own after 1,000 classes taught? Here, it's this size, right? Like the smaller one? Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody else? No? Okay, perfect. All right. When you are ready, so we're gonna again make it to the top of our mat, but we're just gonna do it in a slightly different way. So we're gonna reach the arms up towards the sky. Just give yourself a nice stretch before we do this. You can interlace the palms, maybe flip the hands up towards the sky if that feels comfortable. Big stretch along the front of the body. Good. When you're ready, release the arms down by your sides. So hands are gonna come to our hips. That just keeps our hip bones facing towards the front of the room. We're gonna step the right foot in front of the left. Both feet are on opposite railroad tracks. So give yourself some space between both of the feet. You don't wanna be on a tightrope. We wanna make sure that we have stability here. And then before we do anything, ground down into the toes. Maybe lift the toes up, fan them out, and then kind of grip them to your mat so that they're firm. From here, hands are on our hips. We're gonna slowly dive forward towards that right knee. Release the hands down to your blocks. So both hands are on your blocks, framing that right foot. And then just let the head go. Where can we soften? Good, making that pyramid shape with the legs. Finding that stretch along the back of the hamstrings. And if that means that you give yourself a little bit of a bend in the knee, go ahead and take the bend. All right, keep the hands on the blocks, but before you do anything, just want to remind you that the blocks are not going to hold your body weight. So don't dump all your weight into your hands when you do this. You're just going to lift your left toes up off the ground so that that left leg goes behind you, and then bring the left knee in, left foot comes forward to meet the right foot. Both feet are back next to each other. We're back in that forward fold, but closer to the top of your mat. Let's rise on up. So press into the feet. You can sweep the arms down, around, up, overhead if that feels comfortable for you. Hands touch at the top, and then back down to heart center. Hands will come to our hip bones. Hip bones will be facing towards the front of the room. We're gonna go ahead and step our left foot forward. Again, opposite railroad tracks. Give yourself a little space. Roll the shoulders down and back, and then bow forward towards that left knee. Release the hands down towards your blocks. Let the forehead drop in towards the kneecap. Here, why don't you go, not as, come back up. Just don't lean too deep into it. Okay, there you go. Good, and then anytime that we're folding, I always like to bring our attention back to our face because we tend to hold a lot of tension there where we clench our teeth, we tense up our forehead, we're scrunching our nose. What can we let go of here? And if there's no tension in the face, that's okay too. Maybe you're just tuning into where the breath is flowing into and out of. Are you breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth? When you are ready, again, we're not going to lean all of our weight into our hands when we do this. We're just going to lean a little forward, lift the right foot up, draw the right knee in, and then plant the right foot down to meet the left. You okay?
Yeah,
all right. When you're ready, we'll press ourselves all the way back up, one vertebrae at a time, all the way back up. All right, perfect. Arms can come down, around, up, overhead. Hands come down by our sides. We're all mostly towards the front of our mat. So from here, we'll reach the arms all the way up and then swan dive down towards the toes. You can feel free to use the blocks here for a little assistance. We're gonna inhale ourselves up, halfway lift. Either hands can stay on the blocks to find that flat back, or hands can come to the thighs, squeezing the shoulder blades back. When you're ready, release the hands down towards the toes. Press the hands into the mat to step back into your high plank. Your knees, chest, chin, or your low plank. Perfect. Upward facing dog or cobra. These look great. And then when you're ready, either tabletop or a downward facing dog, or both. Let's all come down to our knees, send the hips back, find our child's pose. Good. Reach those arms forward if that feels comfortable for you. You can always wrap them back towards the heels. How are we doing so far? Good, alive, breathing, perfect, great. Let's take one more breath here. When you're ready, you can press yourself up into table, tuck those toes under to find your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up high, maybe shaking things out a little bit here. All right, when you are ready, let's look forward to the top of our mat this time. You can walk, skip, jump, take the whole commuter rail all the way to the top of the mat. However you want to get there is fine, but we'll find a forward fold at the top of your mat. And while you're in your forward fold, the head is hanging forward, the hands are reaching towards the toes or a block. From here, let's roll ourselves all the way up to standing. Hands can be down by our sides, and then flip the palms to sweep the arms down, around, up, overhead. Hands touch at the top, and then bend into the elbows. Hands come down to heart center. All right. This next flow I've never done before, but I decided why not try it now? So here we go. Sure, I know. Let's balance on our left foot. So bring the right knee in towards the chest. And then you're gonna move it off to the right side a little bit, and then we're gonna circle it around. So you're just gonna kind of move around that right hip. Good. Feel free to take wall here if you need it. We're not gonna be balancing too long on this standing leg, so just kind of circling things around. Perfect. All right, now take that right foot and stamp it where you would stamp it for your tree pose. So either the inside of the left calf, thigh, or down on the left ankle. Just finding that tree pose. Good. If you'd like, you can let those branches grow. Perfect. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, we're gonna hug the right knee in and step the right leg back. So you come into your high lunge, right heel stays lifted, bending into the left knee, raise the arms up towards the sky. Good. Perfect. Sink down here, relax the shoulders, keep the heart open. We'll rotate that right foot so it's in line with the back edge of your mat, opening up the arms, warrior two. Hip bones are facing towards the long edge of your mat. Good, we're facing towards the windows. The palms are facing down towards the ground. When you are ready, let's go ahead and take our right hand to our lower back and then flip the left hand up towards the sky. Reach the left arm up and back like you're reaching towards the back of the room. And then exhale, open both arms back up into warrior two, palms face down towards the ground. Right hand loops back, left hand reaches up and back, side body stretch in our reverse warrior, and then coming all the way back to your warrior two. Keep on going. Find your flow. All right, next time you come back through warrior two, take a pause, just gazing over that left hand. This is gonna be the make it or break it pose. You're either gonna love this or you're gonna hate it, and we're all gonna be somewhere in between. All right, so from here, you're gonna lean into your right knee, Straighten out your left knee and bend down. So hands can come to heart center or they can come down to your mat or a block. And then we're gonna come back up into warrior two. I'll come over there in a second, hold on 1 second. Coming down and then open back up. Good, so you're coming down almost like you're in your side lunge, your standasana, and then coming back to your warrior two. Good, all right. So we're in warrior two. We're bending down into the right knee and then opening back up. We got it, all right. Some of you guys look happy, some of you guys not so much, that's okay. Where can we soften? Good, these look great. You guys have done this before. Perfect. And if you need to add a little flair here, that's okay. I see some of you guys lifting up your toes, that's good. You're kind of finding what works within your body. All right, come back to warrior two whenever you're completing your cycle here. Hip bones facing towards the windows, palms facing towards the floor. When you're ready, we're gonna cartwheel both hands down. So frame the left toes, come up onto the ball of the right toes. Step the left leg back to meet the right, high plank. Good, and then either chaturanga through or come right into downward facing dog. Whatever feels right for you here, find a table. Good, so you're either finding some stillness or finding a little movement. When you are ready, look forward to the top of your mat. Hop, skip, jump there, find your way. Couple of steps, good. Forward fold. When you're ready, we're gonna take that all on the other side. So let's go ahead and press into the feet, rise on up. You can sweep the arms down, around, up, overhead, palms touch right up at the top. Hands will come down to heart center. We're gonna balance on one leg, so we're balancing on our right side this time, pulling the left knee in towards the chest. Open the left knee off to the left side and then make some circles. Whatever that feels like for you, just kind of making some motion with that left leg. These could be big or small. Yeah, good, okay. All right, let's turn this into our tree pose. So stamp the left foot wherever you would on your right leg to make this into your tree pose, either on the ankle, the calf, or the thigh, anywhere but the knee. Maybe let those branches grow. Perfect. Finding your focal point or your drishti to focus your attention on here. When you're ready, bring the left knee back in towards the chest. And then we'll step the left leg back, bending into the right knee. So we come into our high lunge. Hip bones are facing the same direction as the front of your mat. Palms can face towards each other. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. So we keep the neck, chest, and shoulders open. Perfect, high lunge. When you're ready, rotate the left foot so it's in line with the back edge of your mat. Open up the arms, gazing over that right hand. Hip bones are facing towards the flowered wall this time, bending into the right knee, sinking down here into your warrior two. When you're ready, wrap your left hand behind your lower back. Right hand flips towards the sky. Come up and overhead, reaching towards the back of the room. Give yourself that side stretch along the ribs. And then open both arms out in line with the shoulders so the palms face back down towards the ground in your warrior two. Loop the left arm back, right hand reaches up and back. Release back to warrior two. Keep flowing. Good. Let's do one more here. And then when you land in warrior two, we'll pause. All right, straighten out your right knee, bend into your left knee, come down low, either hands come down to the floor or down to blocks. And then we'll bend into our right knee, straighten out the left leg, open the arms back out to warrior two. Sink down into that side lunge, and then back into warrior two. The hip bones stay facing the same direction the whole time. Good. Maybe the gaze moves around here, looking forward or back. Perfect. And everybody's adding or subtracting here, bringing the pose to you. Let's do one more. And then when you're coming back to warrior two, we'll all pause there. That'll be our meeting spot. Palms face down towards the ground, bending into that right knee. When you're ready, we'll cartwheel both hands down, framing that right foot, come up onto the ball of the left foot so that you're in your runner's lunge. Step the right foot back to meet the left, high plank. Come down through knees, chest, chin, or your low plank. Feel free to find a table here. Upward facing dog or cobra. And then find the way back to down dog. Big breath in. A long breath out. Big breath in. Lower down to the knees, send the hips back, child's pose. Feel free to find stillness here, or if you want a little movement, you could rock your head from side to side or walk those hands back and forth, or even come up onto the hands and push back. There's never any pressure to add movement, but if you're looking for something special today, just allowing yourself to find that movement. When you are ready, let's press forward into table, swing the legs out from underneath you so you can come to a seated position. Just coming down to our seats. All right, from here, let's bring the soles of the feet together. The knees go out to either side. You can use those two blocks for some support if you'd like. So they could go on either side of the knees or kind of tuck underneath the top of the thighs and let both knees open out to either side. Feel free to walk the heels closer or further away from the tailbone. Pull yourself up tall, almost like you have a string pulling up the crown of the head, and then exhale, bend forward, keeping the neck, chest, and shoulders open, and then maybe releasing the head down towards the big toes if that feels comfortable for you. This is our cobbler's pose, allowing yourself to sink in. Where can we soften? When you're ready, slowly roll yourself all the way back up, lift up nice and tall. We're gonna stretch the right leg off to the right side, stamping the left foot on the inside of the thigh. So make your kind of figure four shape here. Flex those right toes. We'll bring our arms down, around, up overhead, reach up towards the sky, and then rotate towards that right leg, reach forward. Hands can end up on the knee, the shin, the toes. Just drop the forehead forward. If it would feel more comfortable for you to use your blocks, you could also rest your forearms on blocks or reach those blocks towards the toes. When you're ready, start to walk your hands all the way back up. We're just gonna switch this to the other side. So bend the right knee, straighten the left leg, stamp the foot on the inside of the thigh, flex the left toes, sweep the arms down, around, up, overhead so we find length in the spine, and then rotate over that left leg, hinge forward. The goal is not the toes. Goal is just to find that stretch, letting the head fall in. When you're ready, slowly walk your way all the way back up. Let's cross the left leg in, just coming into crisscross position, or soles of the feet can come back together. We're gonna take one more forward fold. So reach the hands up towards the sky, energetically spread all 10 of the fingers, flip the hands so that they're facing forward. Good, and then bow towards yourself. Reach those arms forward, hands can meet the floor or hands can meet your blocks. Whenever you're ready, walk the hands back in towards the body, lift back up. Good. And then from here, we're going to swing the legs out from underneath us, extend the legs out long in front of you, or you could do this with bent knees. And we're going to slowly lower ourselves to our backs. So palms can face out in front of you, lower yourself back. Either the legs are long or knees are bent. You're engaging your core until you come all the way back. Once you come all the way to your back, let's draw those knees in towards the chest and gently rock yourself from side to side. Finding any sensitive areas in that lower back, any areas that could use a little extra pressure. Whenever you're ready, lower the soles of the feet down to the mat. Let's windshield wipe them from side to side. Feet can either be hip width distance, or you can walk the feet out about as wide as your mat to give yourself a deeper stretch along the top of the thighs. When you're ready, let's walk the soles of the feet together. Let both knees open out to either side, allowing the weight of gravity to just push us down towards the earth. Letting the body become even heavier here. Let's bring both knees together, tap both knees together, keep them together, walk the feet out to the sides of your mat. So the knees are just knocking together towards the center. Right foot goes to right side, left foot goes to left side. When you're ready, start to toe heel your feet back together. We're going to take our right foot on top of our left knee, making our figure four shape. If you're comfortable here, just stay here. You could push your right kneecap forward towards the front of the room, just to create that balance along both sides. You can also loop your arms through the back of that left thigh, pulling the left knee in towards the nose, maybe stretching the left foot up towards the sky. So whatever kind of figure four shape here you'd like, just giving yourself a hip stretch. Good. Taking a moment, if that foot is elevated, maybe circling around the left foot, giving it a little movement. Let's lower the left foot down to our mats, uncross the right ankle. Both feet can come to your mat and just windshield wipe this from side to side, or draw the knees in towards the chest and rock this from side to side. When you're ready, come back to center. We'll take that to the other side. So left ankle crosses on top of the right knee. You can push the left knee forward if that feels comfortable for you. Either stay here in that figure four shape, or you can hug the right knee in towards the nose and stretch the right toes up towards the sky. Find whatever kind of hip stretch serves you best today. When you're ready, let's lower the leg, uncross the heel, place both feet on the mat, windshield wipe back and forth. Bring the knees back to center. From here, we're going to find any comfortable inversion you'd like to come into. So if you'd like to take the one that we took at the beginning of the practice, you can bend into your knees, lift your hips, slide your block horizontally underneath your low back, hug the knees in towards the chest, send those legs up towards the sky. You could also do an inversion with the hands underneath the low back, or move your mat up against the wall. Just allowing yourself to find whatever feels right here. Again, letting all that energy start to slow down, melting in. Allowing everything to naturally flow downward. When you're ready, we'll lower the soles of the feet down to our mats. Lift the hips up to slide a block out from underneath you if you have one. And then we'll stretch our legs out long in front of us. Reach the arms long behind you. Take up a lot of space here. Give yourself a big full body stretch. Take a nice big breath in. And then long breath out, arms come up overhead and hands come down by our sides. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, stretch those arms up overhead, reach them to the back of the room, spread the fingers, spread the toes. And a long exhale out, arms reach up overhead and down by our sides. Setting ourselves up here for our final pose of the day, our resting pose. Adding any props, adding any layers. Taking a moment to maybe even scan through the body to see where else we may be able to soften. Before we close out our practice with our Shavasana, leaving the practice behind, let's take one last moment to be grateful for the time and attention that you offered to yourself today. Having some gratitude to have the motivation to just show up. I invite you to take a moment to give gratitude to your mind, to your breath, and deep gratitude to your body for being here today. Start to wiggle our fingers and toes. Just inviting movement back into our bodies, whatever that looks like for you today. If you'd like, you can give yourself a big stretch, taking up a lot of space, reminding yourself that the world needs more of you, not less. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring those knees in towards the chest. Gently roll your way over onto your right side, facing towards the sun, taking in all the vibrant sun energy. We'll take a pause once we get to our right side, allowing this pause to set the pace for the rest of your weekend, moving with stillness, clarity, and any inner wisdom that you may have gained from yourself during your practice today. Also, just allowing this pause that we're taking here to set the pace until we meet again on our mats. When you're ready, you can press your way up into your comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed, maintaining the stillness that we've created here today, all together. Let's all sweep our arms down, around, up overhead. Fingertips connect right up at the top. Bend into the elbows, lower the hands down into heart center, and then plug your thumbs right into the heartbeat. Let's close our practice today with 3 deep breaths. We'll take our first big breath in together. This one here is for you, for coming out and joining me, joining each other, showing up for yourself today, and all of the good hard work that you've put into this practice. Let's take a second deep breath in. This one here is for someone who is personally close to you. This person may need this extra deep breath that you're taking for them today. And then one final big deep breath in together. This one here is for all beings in the universe, no matter how big and no matter how small. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong. And may you all be at ease. Namaste, everybody. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.